Hey, howdy everyone, Mossy here, back in action, where we found out what's been going on Attraction. For you see, it's a sad time right now because our darling Kate has confessed to the weight of her sins. But doesn't mean it's over yet. We need to still find somebody else. The real culprit that framed her master. Her pseudo-father, as it were. So, April 2nd, 3:11 p.m., the Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. Miss Hull, have you composed yourself? Yes. What you did, no matter the reason, was unforgivable. Yes, I know. However, you committed this crime in order to prove Mr. Master's innocence. If the true culprit is someone else, we have a duty to reinvestigate. No false evidence from the IS-7 incident remains in the official case files. Moreover, there is no evidence to lend credence to Miss Hall's testimony. We should first arrest Miss Hall as the culprit behind today's incident. Objection! We cannot be certain that all the case files are accurate. After all, the prosecutor in the case has a history of forging evidence. Are you suggesting that the PIC overlooked such a prosecutor? That's none of my concern. The truth is that evidence was falsified. And the fact that Dover's body from 18 years ago was just discovered proves it. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I could see remnants of Prosecutor Von Karma within you. What did you say? You tried to deceive the PIC and fabricate the truth. Let me inform you of my, or rather, the PIC's logic. Oh. She don't want us to investigate no further. Why is that? To preserve some dignity? Is that what that is? That ain't justice, girl. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe that the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him. Is that really what the PIC believes? Yes, every word I utter is for the sake of law and order. It seems she intends to hide the truth for the sake of the PIC. At this rate, neither Mr. Master nor Miss Hall will be saved. Rebut! Okay. She acknowledges this, and yet... Hold it! If you acknowledge that, why won't you reopen the case? The goddess of law does not err in her judgments. While Prosecutor Von Karma may have used underhanded... If you ask me, it's all been bogus ever since Von Karma fabricated evidence. And you claim that justice was served. What is the PIC thinking? I can already declare my verdict. There is no need for further investigation. Let's hear your explanation on the matter then. Successfully? Like, he didn't successfully do that though. I hear that the biggest factor in Mr. Master's conviction was his confession. If Prosecutor Von Karma had a hand in his confession, the ruling may not be just. The initial investigation was handled by Detective Rip Lancer. He was the one who obtained the confession. According to the official reports, All I could say is that the ruling has always been handed down. Jeez, why does Miss Courtney have to be so stubborn? Is the PIC so high and mighty? They sure seem like the arch enemy of prosecutors, to say the least. So they're kind of like what the police are to great thieves. Says the great thief who nonchalantly works alongside the police. Well, it's one of those team-ups from the comic books, you know? Are you saying that both Miss Hall and Mr. Master murdered Isaac Dover? Mr. Master committed the murder, while Miss Curridge removed the body. That's what I believe. What? How could you say that? We would never kill Monsieur Dover. Do you not steal the body and preserve it for 18 years? It is only natural to suspect you of being an accomplice. She has already confessed to her crimes, and now is not the time to judge her of her past crimes. In that case, let's judge Miss Hall for her current crime. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavi today, but she didn't. She didn't know Mr. Gustavi was going to do it. That's a fault part of what she's saying here. If she wanted to pin the crime on somebody, why choose Mr. Gustavia? Perhaps Mr. Gustavia suspected Miss Hall was the criminal, as he attempted to confirm whether or not the Gemini sculpture was genuine. He was caught in a trap meant to silence him forever. Can you prove that theory? Mr. Gustavia is currently teetering on the brink of death. There's probably no way to prove it unless he regains consciousness. In other words, there is nothing we could do for now. That can't be true. There must still be something we could do. You still don't get it, do you? Allow me to give you a clearer explanation. I mean, do we though? By ample evidence, you mean? For the IS-7 incident, we have a body, the murder weapon, and a pair of suspects. For the poison gas incident, we have 2 chemicals and Miss Hall's confession. Furthermore, I have finished collecting all the evidence necessary. For your own PIC hearing, Prosecutor Edgeworth. What? How can you say something like that so casually? Miles, you know you're always welcome to join the Edgeworth law offices. Judge Courtney, I'd like to ask that you refrain from making such needless remarks. I understand. Well, regardless... There is a need to investigate further, though. There is! Are you saying that there's nothing left for us to investigate? We have already exhausted all ends in regard to the evidence. This court will accept no further deliberations. I shall now deliver my verdict for the defendant, Catherine Hall. I hereby... Hold it! There is still a need for further investigation. If you wish to halt my verdict, please do so with evidence. That is, if there is any evidence that requires further deliberation. Don't allow this case to end here. There's still something that needs to be cleared up. Looks like I'll have to show Judge Courtney something to convince her. It's gotta be the fingerprints, right? Or the lack of fingerprints. It's gotta be. We've had that in our pocket for a while. No? No! That wasn't it! But we don't know who left those marks. So we need to produce evidence that's What can we do? So murder's 15 years. Either way, she wouldn't get away with it. Or rather, she would get away with it. She can't be charged for the murder. Just legitimately. I think we need to put the statutes of limitations. I think we do need to put that out there. Dang it, it's not that. But like, you literally cannot convict her for that. You can only convict her for the other thing. So it's like, you can't have that. Oh, I'm wasting my health here. I don't know why she stumped me this way. The way she looks really cute, you know? Okay. Parson Orange are Shield's notes. The statute may be here? Is that the true reason? It could be the IS-7 incident file. I just don't see that being the case. I mean, the gas burner was there, but we don't really need to do anything with that. We don't need this per se. Gustavia's son always came to visit up until the finals. Wait. Did we have that before? That particular side note right there? With Dover's blood. Maybe this? The sugar found in the fountain also appears to have the same composition. Salt, sugar, blood detected. The sugar matches the liquid blue liquid found in Dover's room. So, we know that already. We know the liquid analysis. That's there to prove things. We don't have a need for the statute of limitations. We have the fragment. The frame fragment thing. I don't think we need the Angel's book. This is kind of our only loose end right now, aside from maybe the IS-7 incident in particular, but that's not really here or there. I don't see the gas burner being a particular big plot point, so maybe... No! Okay, I don't know what it is. What is something that could shut her up properly? 'Cause I don't know. I pressed everything there, right? So it's like, fuck, I don't know where to go off on this. There's no need to investigate any further. Not allowed to end here. There's also something that needs to be cleared up. Show Judge Courtney something to convince her. However, we successfully convicted Mr. Masters as an accomplice. Maybe we presented here? No. We have enough evidence. That's what they're saying. There's no need to investigate any further. What could be the next thing? The Angel's recipe book? That's a possibility. I already gave off that. Kate's favorite teapot. That doesn't seem to be something. I can only think of the Angel's recipe book and the IS-7 incident file as the big things here. Everything else, not so much. We kind of have self-explanations here. I just don't know why this wouldn't. The victim's body vanished. There appears to be no autopsy report. Is this the true reason? The statute of limitations ran out 3 years ago. That don't prove much nothing. Do we have the Angel's recipe book? I don't think we do. That was not it. That was not it at all. I think we're gonna game over on this. I don't know which one to go off of. See, like... Fuck. Is it seriously this? I don't see how this is very useful, comparatively. This just shows what that has there. Nope. 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 The only other thing I can think of is that I'm not hitting it at the correct spot. I don't think we need to look at the Zodiac stuff. I don't think that's something that we need to do, honestly. The fluorescent cloth is a little bit weird to be like, we have to see this next. We already know how that happened. We already have the blood, everything is here. The same sugar. Traces of salt detected? Maybe it's the salt? It's the fucking salt! Oh my god! I was ruling it out because we had the blood and the sugar. I hate this. There's still one piece of evidence from the IS evidence and that remains unsettled. Take a look at this. This is the forensic result from the Gemini sculpture that melted in the Winter Palace. According to the results of the analysis, traces of someone's blood were found. Who does this blood belong to? Until we know the answer, this case is still open. There was blood mixed in with the remains of the Gemini sculpture? Did I not read that right? Did I just assume it was Dover's? I heard nothing of this from Sebastian. This was a report from Detective Gumshoe. I had planned to tell Mr. DeBest myself. So even though you had no investigative authority, you still did as you please. I shall report everything that transpired today to the PIC. It will not avert my eyes from the truth, nor shall I overlook the mistakes of the past. If you wish to report my actions to the PIC, be my guest. But in exchange, I want you to let me investigate this case to the very end. It's not my place to decide such things. I must ask that you check with Sebastian regarding this matter. Hey! Good news, you guys! Thanks to our early detection, Mr. Gustavia's life was saved. Mr. Gustavia? So, he's alive. Would you be the ones who saved my life? Hey, Mr. Gustavia! You are Sir Assistant, are you not? You've grown so big! This time, this one is your assistant then? No, I'm... He's an assistant candidate, and Gregory Edgeworth's son! I am Miles Edgeworth, a prosecutor. What a twist of fate. I am in your debt. It is thanks to you that I have completely recovered. There's no need for thanks. Since you're alive, we could reach the truth behind the incident 18 years ago. What do you speak of? While you were unconscious, the truth has started to come to light. You may be Isaac Dover's murderer. What? Really? Miss Hall was looking for the criminal behind the events of 18 years ago. That's why she set up the poison gas in the Pisces case. Mr. Gustavia, the events of the incident 18 years ago. Tell us, what really happened? Do you wish to remain silent? Nah, I think he's just meditating. You can sleep standing up? What a useful skill to have! Meditation is different from sleeping. Oh. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us what you did 18 years ago. I'm the criminal because I fell for the trap. That's not a very funny joke. I'm a victim, not a culprit. Mr. Gustavia, it has not yet been made clear whether or not you are a criminal. This is only their baseless speculation. Do not concern yourself with the strival of the prosecutor without jurisdiction. At least there is one person who, here who understands. My name is Justine Courtney. I am a judge. If you would like, I would be happy to assist you. Let us show Prosecutor Edgeworth the truth of 18 years ago. Understood. I shall prove my innocence to you, Sir Prosecutor. Objection! Judge Courtney, is that your answer? Do you intend to bury the truth of the IS-7 incident before it could be brought to light? I merely believe in the judgments of the goddess of law. Ultimately, those who render judgment are only human. As long as humans control the law, there is no guarantee that every verdict is correct. We are going to help conceal the truth. It will not hold back. I'm looking forward to it. Lady Justine, what should I do? Now. You are being suspected because you set off the poison gas. Can you tell us the reason? Why you opened the Pisces case? Understood. I came to see Sir Dover's works from 18 years ago. However, I accidentally entered the museum a half hour before it opened. Miss Hall, there was nobody at the entrance, correct? Since I thought the criminal from 18 years ago might be coming, I had no security guards in place. I didn't even lock the doors. I was very busy with opening preparations, so there was nobody on the first floor. In addition, I locked every palace door aside from the autumn one. I see. This must have been done in order to lure the criminal to the Autumn Palace. Which is why he ended up entering the Autumn Palace. It's already suspicious that he snuck into the museum in the first place. The gallery shall remain silent. Unless you have evidence that could prove his testimony false, I will not allow any objections. Gallery? This isn't even a courtroom! Now then, why did you open the Pisces case? I wish to view Sir Dover's handiwork up close. The Gemini sculpture, no. It was actually the Pisces, wasn't it? The lid had been frozen shut, so I borrowed a burner to open it. But as soon as I opened the lid, poison gas began pouring out. That's quite a convenient testimony. Sounds like a total lie, doesn't it? There are parts of Mr. Gustavia's testimony that I have issues with, as well. However, there is no evidence to disprove it. But that's... would not make sense for suspicion to fall on Lady Catherine before myself. She may have intended to release the poison gas haphazardly.
Objection.
Kate turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released. She was specifically talking to the person who triggered the trap. Mr. Gustavia, you were only talking. You are willing to accept the words of a criminal as the truth. Miss Hall must atone for her crimes. However, the same can be said for the criminal from 18 years ago. So, prosecutor, it seems you wish to suspect me to the bitter end. However, I had no reason to murder Sir Dover. Well, there's no evidence to suggest that I killed him. They don't suspect me. Mr. Edgeworth, can you prove that Mr. Gustavia is the criminal? All we know for sure is that Mr. Gustavia fell victim to the poison gas. No matter how strange his behavior was, it won't prove he committed the murder. But that's... Mr. Shields, is there nothing we could do? Well, if there isn't any evidence, we should try reorganizing the facts. If Mr. Gustavia was the one who killed Mr. Dover, there must have been a motive. Motive. Mr. Gustavia himself is denying that such a motive exists. Not easy to take another person's life. 18 years ago, the old man also discussed motive with Prosecutor Von Karma. You claim the collaboration is irrelevant? And Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour. It could have served as a motive for murder. We could have talked with Mr. Gustavia 18 years ago, but this time things are different. If we connect everything we've learned so far, the truth might be revealed. Yes, I suppose so. Seems I must re-examine the information from 18 years ago. Let's recall all the details that have remained unexplained. So, the glove's fingerprints on the picture frame. Was your doing? Delicia denied leaving the fingerprints on the frame. If they were left by Mr. Gustavia, he may have been trying to view the angel's recipe. Monsieur Master asked me to change the film in the camera. It seemed the film he prepared in advance wasn't enough. There wasn't enough film? It seems the number of photos he took doesn't match up with the amount of film remaining. Well, he told me himself it might have been just a mistake, though. The information my father collected 18 years ago was certainly not for naught. There's no evidence, and I shall use logic to reveal the truth. Woo! Partnership turned sour, and that's a motive for murder. Mr. Gustavia, you collaborated with the victim, Isaac Dover, to create your desserts, didn't you? Oh, it seems you know about my secret. Mr. Shields told me about it. Mr. Dover handled the design, while you were in charge of the taste. Is that correct? Back then, my training had been insufficient. Seems you worked together through the semifinals, but not during the finals. Why is that? We both wish to compete in the finals against Sir Master on our very own merits. You must have also helped with Isaac Dover's dessert, even during the final. What makes you able to declare something like that? Didn't you tell Prosecutor Von Karma about it yourself 18 years ago? That you cooperated until the day before the finals. The sculptures in Mr. Dover's room were all made of sherbet. Such an amount would most likely need to be left overnight to freeze. Which means Mr. Gustavia prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before. That's right. So you realize Gustavia's cooperation ended the day before the finals. Then why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavia in return? The views of the dead are of no concern to me. Why did Isaac Dover not help you in return? If there's a reason why your partnership with Isaac Dover broke down, that would be a motive for murder. That could be a possibility. However, Sir Dover and I ended our partnership peacefully. A peaceful breakup? That's hard to imagine. Not to mention, it's absurd to think that I killed Sir Dover in Sir Master's room. But we didn't say anything about Sir Master's room. I couldn't have killed Sir Dover, while Sir Master was also there making his desserts. Oh? In other words, there's no way I could have committed the murder. It's not true. If there was a moment when Mr. Master was absent from the room, it would prove that it was impossible for Mr. Gustavia to commit the murder. Was Angel's recipe his goal? I think so. I think someone used that with the Angel's recipe. But this could be a rare herring, and we needed to actually get this first. While Master was in the room. I think these two are the ones we need. The whammies? Thank goodness. If he had photographed the contents of the Angel's recipe, he wouldn't need to steal it. Perhaps Mr. Gustavia used Mr. Master's camera to take the pictures. If he had stolen the actual recipe book, the police would have found out. I see. Pictures, eh? The problem is that the time at which he entered Mr. Master's room. Mr. Gustavia could have moved around freely during the afternoon tea, right? It seemed both him and Mr. Dover did not participate in the afternoon tea. There we go. I remember correctly. The only time we could prove that Dover was still alive is... the victim was not seen, as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked room was Jeff Master. Was Master's desserts all that you ate? Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts. After the contest began, Isaac Dover was locked up in his room. If we assume he was killed at some point before Delicia snuck into his room, then there's a high chance that he was killed before the afternoon tea was over. Boop. Boop. Bam. It's all coming together. Isaac Dover was alive up until the afternoon tea began. Ergo, this is the only time when Gustavia could have killed Dover. Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you satisfied? Sorry, but I'm far from satisfied. Because I am finally starting to see the truth behind this case. Are you saying you have found some evidence to show us that truth? No, there's no need to present any evidence, since we just have Mr. Gustavia to tell us the truth. Ah, so this is where you use that, right? Indeed. Mr. Gustavia, there's one thing I want you to tell me. I said, Mr. Gustavia, there's one thing I want you to tell me. Oh, what is it? During the finals of the contest, you made your desserts on your own. I wanted to compete for the title of the world's greatest pastry chef on my own merits. If that was truly the case, you were competed on your own merits from the start. I want you to tell me why it was necessary for you to cooperate with Isaac Dover. During the contest 18 years ago, Mr. Gustavia collaborated with Mr. Dover. I wonder, what made them decide to cooperate in the first place? That's what I need to draw out from him. But... Cool. Seems he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Guess I'll ask about why he collaborated with Mr. Dover. The truth has been hidden for 18 years. That ends today. It's here. The most thrilling thing. Why did he decide to collaborate with Isaac Dover? Sir Dover and I were already acquaintances, even before the contest began. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter it together. Joining forces with a sculpturer. You weren't confident in your own abilities? You know nothing about me. We wanted to make great works together. You couldn't make it on your own? Ugh. I mean, it just seemed like you had something going on there. Oh, jeez. Pretty sure we can only really take, like, that one. Sir Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school. We all got along well from the start. Really? So, were you going to share the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef together? I don't think we should wake him up. My condition may be worsening. To get back to the he tricked me! I know we had to literally just tell him, wake up! It's a weird thing to do. Alright, so we do pretty much the exact opposite of what happens with Larry. So when he's active, do something. When he's not, don't. As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goal lie? Indeed. My goal was the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was the grand prize, the angel's recipe. I see. You cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured. Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of a poisoning. If you're going to suspect me, in this manner, perhaps I'd better return to the infirmary. Wait a moment! In that case, it should end things soon. I am not a patient man. Seems he's trying to leave, and let that happen. Still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal. Oh, thank goodness. We need to keep the pressure on him, while being cautious of the time. With that in the way, next time, more chest.